Instead of pushing you and like promoting you, because if all Ugandans, or let's say if a big number of Ugandans stream podcasts like this, and even the Pan-African dating show and all that, and they say it's best in Uganda, that is how people are going to be like, yo, Uganda is moving too fast.
Exactly.
They even have podcasts right now. Do you know the biggest podcasts in Africa right now are in South Africa and Nigeria?
Yep.
Plus Kenya.
When it comes to East Africa, this is the only podcast that has broken the borders.
Okay,
Exactly.
thank you.
Kudos,
Kenya, they don't.
kudos.
So,
I clap for
He's doing big.
Hi guys, welcome to Kenganda. My name is Johnny Tamai and this is the Repart Podcast. Now today's episode is special. I am joined by Uganda's funniest men. Can I call you that?
No.
What do you mean no? You know, some people call you Mr. Nyash. Is that it?
Because I die for Nyash.
Oh, please tell the people about you and your Nyash.
I mean, not your particular Nash. There's a law
You
against that
and
now.
Nyash, not your Nyash.
Because they can arrest you if you talk about your Nash.
Okay, my name is Abraham. How do you call it? How do
Oh.
you pronounce it in
Abraham? Yeah.
Yes. Abraham is my name, known as Yaga Mr. Idiot, aka the Nyash lover. Because I die for Nyash.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, it's quite strange because I've just gotten to know you're called Abraham.
Oh my God, I thought your best friend.
I
What
just know him as
happened?
Yaga. I don't know.
This is the problem. If I die tomorrow, it doesn't know who to
Yeah. But I feel like that's the thing with men and relationships. You people just stay
Yeah,
on
we are
the
not
surface.
so serious like you ladies.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Brian, tell the people, give us the full name. Like Abraham has done.
Yes, my name is Outer Brian. Yeah, we are the Repart Podcast.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I'm so happy to be here as usual.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get going.
Okay.
Hey, man from the East.
That's right.
Yeah, the baddest.
Okay.
King of Kings.
Yeah. So there's some people in the background doing some crazy stuff, guys. So if you hear it, it's not my fault. O'Shea Duke Jackson,
Yeah.
African American,
Why are you yelling?
getting causing problems in Uganda. So, all right, guys. So today, I have a relationship with pause, not that kind of relationship, but a friendship with Yaga due to me, Otto Brian, and we used to do skits together in the little series I had called Struggle With. So that's how I met Mr. Idiot. And you guys know that I am kind of fond of Kenya, and there's been a lot of people that come to Uganda, but they're probably stopping in Kenya first. That was the same thing with Dr. Ronald Neal. He was in Kenya, and he's like, oh, okay, you're in Uganda, I'll come to Uganda, something like that. But now we have people who are living here, and they're saying they need to move to Kenya. And then this is the case with Yaga, who is a South Sudanese living here for 20 years. So we have a lot of people out there that want to know, is Kenya a better opportunity in your experience than Uganda?
I would say in the field that I'm in, which is social media and entertainment,
Yes.
Kenya is way better than Uganda.
Okay.
First of all, they have faster internet compared to Uganda.
Okay.
It's cheaper that everybody affords. Anybody can easily afford the internet in Kenya.
Okay.
So that gives you high chances of being streamed on the media.
Okay.
Either YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, all the socials.
Yes.
So that is the biggest advantage Kenya has more than Uganda.
Okay.
When it comes to social media in Uganda, I think even Outer Brian knows. The English content creators, we are not favored at all. You put in a lot of work, you create your content, put out there, you're more even creative than the locals you get. But you still, nobody recognizes you. I remember when I blew up on TikTok here in Uganda, my face was everywhere, but I didn't get the advantage that I saw some these other newbies when they came up. They didn't. I wasn't given that attention. The same thing to Outer Brian. Outer Brian has been creating content even way when I was still in high school. But look at him. Look at the numbers that he has on social media. Why? Because he's an English content creator. But you've seen these guys who just came up, they're using their Luganda, and then boom,
Yeah.
1 million followers.
Like CB Talker, he had 58,000 followers.
In a period of only 2 months.
Yeah, he's almost 900,000.
He's almost even hitting 100K.
It's almost 1 million followers now.
On TikTok.
TikTok.
But when it comes to Instagram,
Yeah, he's at
it's
almost
hitting
100,000.
100K.
Wait, the man is almost 100K.
What are you
Yes!
talking about?
I've
You've
never
been
checked out his
creating
page.
content for 5 years
Bro.
plus.
Bro,
And that
I
is-
saw him like 6 months ago. He had like 50,000 TikTok followers. He's almost at one. He's even past Sesabat.
Wow.
And they're going crazy also on Facebook. And most of the locals are on Facebook.
Oh.
You get so. I feel like in Uganda, English content creators, like you've also seen an example of Raymond.
Yes.
Raymond.
Let's put up a video of Raymond's video, like the stats there. Let's show the Kenya blankets and wines, and let's show Uganda blankets and wines and see the difference in the views.
And see the difference in the views.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you see that.
Imagine having a video that has broken the world record, not hitting 100,000 views on YouTube, and then you create a video in a period of only 1 week in Kenya. It's already hitting 100K.
Right.
So what
Wow.
does that show?
So what other things, because you have people in the diaspora that are considering, coming back to Africa and things like that. And now because of this podcast, we're located in Uganda, but what are some of the other things you noticed about being in Nairobi that you liked in comparison to living here?
The social life in Nairobi is way more advanced compared to the one in Uganda.
Okay.
Uganda is, would I say Uganda is small to a point like a lot of people can't be here. You get, but Nairobi is so advanced. Nairobi is so advanced in terms of infrastructure. You get everything in Nairobi is way. Can I say like one step ahead of Kampala? You get. So, and you can't pick somebody from New York who is used to that good life and then you bring them to Uganda. At least they want to experience something that is like way back home in New York, you get. So, for them to copy up with the African lifestyle, they have to find at least a place that is almost to the West, you get.
Okay.
And then they can now start copying up with the African lifestyle slowly. That's when you move to Uganda and maybe other countries like my country, worse than Uganda.
which is where you
South
go?
Sudan.
South Sudan, okay.
Yeah. And all of us, we are patriots of our countries, but when it comes to some things, we just have to give people the facts, you get.
Yes.
You have to speak the truth because I love Uganda. Uganda is my second home. I'm a South Sudanese. I love my country, but I can't compare South Sudan to Uganda.
Right.
You get. Uganda is way developed than South Sudan.
Yes.
It's better than South Sudan in all aspects.
Yes.
You get. So I can't come out here and be like, yeah, South Sudan is this, South Sudan is that because I'm a patriot of my country. No.
Yes.
We have to speak facts. You get. Because this is content that we are putting out for the people in the diaspora. You get. Like the African Americans who have a feeling of coming back home.
Yes.
So you wouldn't wish somebody to leave a place that everybody wants to go to, again come to a place that is worse than some other places. You get.
Okay.
So that is why I would say if you want to start your life in Africa, let's say like in East Africa, and you want to still have the feeling of the West,
Yes.
start with Kenya. And then you can come to Uganda.
Okay.
Because it's going to be hard for you coming to Uganda and then boom, things are just upside down. And then by the time you realize Kenya is way better than Uganda, you start regretting spending your time in Uganda and moving to Kenya. I've told you several times.
She told me to get out of here and come to Kenya.
I just want to ask, you say you don't get enough views here because you're an English content creator.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that affect you in Kenya too?
No, wouldn't.
Because like they do a lot of Swahili.
They do both.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Kenya, it's mostly English and Swahili. And it's crazy how Uganda is ranked to be the first English African speaking country. But when
With
you're
all these tribes.
with all these tribes, I'm
all
telling
these
you, bro.
1,000 tribes.
And people are speaking English crazily in Uganda. Uganda is a country. I think this is all. It comes to all Africans. An African will start speaking their language, even when they can speak English. They don't give a damn whether you are their tribe mate or what, whether you understand their language or what. They will start with their language and then boom. When they realize that you don't know their language, that is when they will now move to English.
Okay.
You get. But Ugandans are worse than Kenyans. You get. There are so many tribes in Kenya. Everybody speaks their own language. You find the Kisi, the Kikuyu, what. But at least they start with Swahili.
Okay.
Swahili is spoken all over East Africa.
Yeah.
So they assume that most people that come from any East African country
You speak Swahili.
speak Swahili.
Can you speak Swahili?
I try a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So
But you're Uganda, it's perfect.
it's perfect. Yeah.
This man knows many languages. Huh?
How many languages do you speak? Sorry.
5.
Could you name them?
English, Dinka, Acholi, Arabic. Those are 4.
Wow.
Oh,
English, Dinka, Acholi, Arabic. Those are 4
plus
languages.
Luganda.
Plus, I forgot.
5.
Luganda too.
Okay.
How good is your Dinka in comparisons to Uganda?
100%.
Before I can say 100%.
Tell us a sentence in Dinka.
What do you want me to say in Dinka?
What you usually say, Nyash? What else?
Nyash.
No, a sentence. Someone sentence.
Nyash
Say-
is called Angwem in my language.
Say you are facing the camera. You are sitting while facing the camera.
And right in the camera.
What?
Okay.
Bro, I'm so fluent in my language, so when it comes to my language, don't even
Yeah.
think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys, this is the sad truth. I know a lot of Ugandans are going to come at me for this.
Yes.
And you'll see them in the comment section. Until you travel and leave your country and see how other countries are,
Yes.
that is when you will accept the truth. I'm a South Sudanese. I've lived in Uganda for 20 years. And all these 20 years, I've always thought like Uganda is the best country, is well developed and all that. Until I stepped my legs, my tiny skinny legs in Nairobi. That is when I realized that Uganda still has a long way to go. And
Okay.
it's crazy that few years ago, Uganda was far better than what? Kenya.
I'm
Yeah.
You
telling
guys
you.
can tell.
Yeah, I heard
Just
about
a
that.
few years ago, Uganda was far better than Kenya. But all of a sudden, boom. Everybody wants to go to Kenya now. I'm seeing Nigerians moving to Kenya.
I see him on YouTube. Hold on a second.
Nigerians are moving to Kenya.
Are you for real? That one I didn't
South
know.
Africans.
Look at the YouTube. It's always Nigerian. You never see Kenyans moving to Nigeria, but you always see Nigerians moving to what?
To Kenya.
Kenya. It's all on YouTube.
So in that case, I was thinking, isn't it high time that we move to Nairobi?
I've always told you and you thought I was lying.
You know-
Have you
know-
been to Nairobi?
I've not yet been to Nairobi.
Have you ever been out of Uganda?
Oh my God.
You went to the border?
Where?
I once went to northern Uganda. And I got a chance of stepping because I reached the border.
You reached the border.
So they said,
Hold on. Story time music.
once you cross this line, you're in South
that
Sudan.
means I've ever been
So
to
I
Tanzania.
stepped in South Sudan. So I consider I've gone same thing as a Western. I went to Acacia.
Yeah.
I reached the border. So they
That
told
means
me,
that we've all traveled.
hey,
these
they told
countries.
me when you cross this side, you're in
Congo,
Congo. I
DRC.
crossed 1,000 Congo. So I've been to Congo. I've been to South Sudan. And where else?
Did you get a visa there?
So I've
Did
moved.
you get a stamp to enter South Sudan?
I didn't get the stamp, but
Then you
I
didn't.
moved there illegally.
Okay, guys, I know a lot of people are going to come at me for this, yeah?
Yeah.
But I'm not just saying this because of one time I've been to Kenya. I've been to Kenya 4 times.
Yeah.
I've been to Kenya 4 times.
Yes.
And each time I step in Kenya like this, and I post videos, outer nose. Every time I step in Kenya like this, the first video that I post, you start seeing views, engagement on my page. So I've done this analysis for 4 good times.
Okay.
I've been to Kenya.
You're not
So I'm
you're
not
not just talking.
speaking from nowhere that I love Kenya more than Uganda. No, Uganda is my home.
Yes.
If I decide to get my documents today, all Ugandan from kindergarten till where I am, all are Ugandan documents. I just chose to go back home because I don't see the big difference in terms of documents, Uganda and South Sudan. That is why I chose to go get my documents from South Sudan. But Uganda has been my home. I was raised in Uganda and I'm still growing up in Uganda. So I want to have this East African community.
Yes.
Because when you are to come to my page, you will find Uganda is number 1. Kenya is number 2. That is to show you how these 2 countries
Are
are
very-
supporting me. My own country is not even mentioned anywhere. You get? So I have Uganda and Kenya. And then we have Nigeria and then South Africa and then I have the United States.
Yes.
So if I have Kenya, of which I already have the Ugandan base, which is the leading, you get? I already have the Ugandan base, which is leading. So I want to also move to Kenya so that I can also have an opportunity of having Kenyans in big numbers. And the fact that these guys are so supportive when it comes to social media. If you are to check, Kenya consumes the most YouTube and TikTok in Africa.
It's true. In
Kenya
fact,
consumes the most YouTube and TikTok in Africa. Tell me why I shouldn't put myself. Why I shouldn't put myself in a position that my content will be consumed. I don't see the point of me creating YouTube videos here in Uganda when I'm just going to put in a lot of work, maybe even investing my money to create some good content, and then boom, you post, you're getting only 100 views for what? Yet in Kenya, I'll just drop and at least get my 10K or something like that. So I'm not just speaking out of maybe pain or something like that. I'm
Yes.
speaking facts. O'Shea has been to Kenya.
Yeah.
O'Shea, you've seen how Kenya is developed.
Yes.
Would you compare would you compare Nairobi to Kampala?
No.
Be honest.
No. And I'm gonna tell you this because of course I came to Uganda first as my first country. So then I'm like a loyal person. So obviously we've built it. I wanted to move this business. That Joan convinced me not to when Joan was the manager. So most of us people, like even on this podcast here, I'm gonna put some analytics up here in the audience tab for the Uganda channel first. Every episode, we have never shot this podcast in Kenya.
But we will.
But Kenyans watch this more than Ugandans.
Ugandans.
Okay?
Can you imagine?
The Pan-African Dating Show has 79 episodes, of which 4 have been shot in Kenya. And Kenya is still,
Leaning.
depending on it's close. Most months, it's Nairobi is our best city. And I put those analytics up there. And then Kampala is number 2. So I will say this, like, and also we got to look at just the other things outside of the social media thing. Like, I love Uganda a lot. Like, I'm very biased personally towards Uganda. But the facts are this. When you want to buy something in Carrefour, in Westgate, it is not Carrefour in Acacia. It's 2 different things. Carrefour in Westgate in Nairobi has a higher selection of things. And Westgate, you been to the mall before? Have you been to Westgate Mall? It was the same people that built Acacia Mall built Westgate Mall. Yeah. So there's a difference between Carrefour Kenya, Nairobi Westgate, and Carrefour Acacia Mall. If you want to say the best Carrefour, I would say that I've seen is Carrefour like Oasis Mall, which is really big. It still isn't Carrefour Westgate. And it's cheaper, Carrefour Kenya, Nairobi. The products are cheaper than in comparisons to here because of the Mombasa border. Yeah. They have a lot more of like brown rice, for example. You have to go to the health store to get brown rice in Uganda. You can't get it at Carrefour Acacia Mall. But you can get it in Carrefour Westgate or any, like they have more commodity of goods. And then also they have more things, let's say for example, if you want to get like the Nike store, you can get in Nairobi. You can get like, what's that popular luggage that's really big? It's a very big luggage brand. Anybody know?
Naivas or what?
No.
Does that with an R? Is it?
Somebody in the comments find out what the luggage brand. It's there. Bose Audio is there. So you have more luxury goods. Burger King, for example, is in Kenya, is not here. Living conditions, like you said, the internet is. Fiber in Uganda is in certain parts of the city. It's getting better.
It's getting better, yeah.
But while fiber is all over the country.
The whole country.
The whole entire
city.
country. Yeah. Also, the price you pay. If I want to live in Kololo, it's very expensive. But in Kilauea, it's like a third of the price unfurnished. It's very similar and it's a better apartment than here in Uganda. And then also the Ubers, they come like right away. In Uganda, where you are, like direct the guy. So you Kenya is more efficient. Let me just say it as a city.
Advanced.
It's efficient. The communities in the residential places that you live in, you get more value for your money.
For your money. Yeah.
Well, now living in Uganda has a lot more opportunity. But then again, you got to be the kind of person that wants to, like, I'm going to build from the ground up. I want to be a maverick, a trendsetter, and not everybody wants to do that. People typically want to move to a place where they're not the trendsetter or the first group that's going to come there. Some people are older. They want to enjoy their life. They want to have certain facilities. Even the hospital. There's this hospital, Aga Khan in Parklands. Aga Khan in Parklands, there's no hospital in Uganda that's like even like that. And they have rheumatology there. They have... cardiology wards there. There's probably not even a rheumatology lab here in Uganda. And I'm probably sure it's there in Nairobi. So advanced healthcare system. Most of the banks are from Kenya are here, like Equity. You know what I mean? You have a lot more internet providers that are everywhere, cheaper quality of living. again, if you're in this business like social media, you have more of a community. And one thing I've noticed too, with Uganda, it's very difficult to get people to work together in the content creation community. It's a hard thing to do.
Exactly.
And it's a lot of money. Go ahead.
That's a good point.
And it is the simplest thing being done in Kenya when it comes to content creating.
Yeah.
Because these guys, they depend on one another for views,
Yeah.
for followers, or
Yeah.
anything like that. Because you would find Flacco collaborating with Crazy Canal, and that video is going to get millions and millions of views than when Crazy creates his own video and when Flacco does.
Yeah.
That is to show you the influence that they
Yeah.
both have.
Which is not here.
Which is not here.
Yeah.
So here you try to collaborate with somebody, think you're depending on them, yet you're also doing them a favor. You get it's all
Yeah.
you give me, I give you. You do me, I do you.
Yeah.
That is the system in Kenya. You give me what you have, I
Yeah.
give you what I have.
There's more parity.
You get
Like
But here
Nigeria
in
also.
Uganda,
Yeah.
Joanne is laughing at that point of you give me, I give you. I don't know what to say.
No, she only wants to be able to take. Take.
I didn't even say anything.
so you and like you said, Kenya gives you value to your money.
Yeah, more value for money.
Trust me, the apartment I'm living in right now here, it's a 1-bedroom, but the same amount of money would give me a better apartment somewhere in Nairobi.
Are you for real?
Bedroom,
Yes.
actually.
Yes.
Yo, what the
Yeah, I'm
hell?
paying
Yes.
$300 a month for 1 bedroom.
Yes.
But trust me, if it is Nairobi, I would get 2 bedroom for that
yes.
in a better place.
You
Yes.
think how many dollars?
$300.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's all.
You get, and Nairobi would give me a better one. So they have value for my money compared to Uganda.
So in short, we are being scammed here.
You are.
And Ugandans are full of scammers.
The rent in this country is where it's even
crazy,
cheaper
man.
to rent in South Africa than it is in
That-
Uganda.
You get.
Oh yeah. Well, South Africa is very developed also. So
Yeah.
So Uganda, you have to use a lot of money to get something that is good. But when you are to compare or use that same amount of money somewhere in Nairobi, South Africa, you would find you're living a lavish life
yeah.
compared to in Uganda. That is to show you how expensive Uganda is. It's crazy how people will say Nairobi is more expensive than Kampala, but the actual fact is we spend more money in Kampala and get nothing,
Yeah.
and spend less in Nairobi and get a lot.
Value.
We have value.
Value, yeah.
Kenyans give you value for your money.
Right.
And that is why, see here, we have bodas are more than Uber, right?
Yeah.
But you go to Nairobi, Uber is more than boda.
Yeah.
That
Most
is
of
to
the
show
guys
you how
is Uber.
advanced the country is, like the city is.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you have to deal with dust and flu. You saw how O'Shea came in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was to his knee.
just as we were coming, you saw
You saw how we was swallowing dust anyhow.
Wait. Let's get Rachel on. I think you're forgetting Rachel over there. She's over there looking up at the cry. Rachel, what do you mean? Rachel, we went to, Rachel's our manager now. So Rachel has been to Nairobi, I believe, twice. We went last in May. So Rachel, and she's a Ugandan, like very,
Conk Ugandan.
yeah, she's from Uganda, so you have to watch what you say.
Oh,
Yeah, so she's very violent when it comes to the central. You know what I mean? She's a very big Buganda person. So, but honestly, Rachel, what
Be
do
honest.
you think? Honestly, what
honest.
you saw between the your Nairobi and here?
I've seen better infrastructure. I've seen better hospitality. I've seen better everything in Kenya. Well, not everything. Hospitality, I mean in terms of as you go to restaurants or shops,
Yes.
the kind of service they give you. They make you feel like, yeah, I'm here to spend my money. They make you buy things you're not there to buy,
Okay.
which is kind of different here because people have attitudes with the way they run businesses. Like I walk into an establishment and this is like a whole service place. I need something, and I have like recently I went to which supermarket was it? I was looking for something for some hair conditioner. It's for natural hair. So I asked the lady because I couldn't find it. The things were so disorganized. So I asked her because she was in that very, hurry. So I asked her, I'm like, could you help me? Because I'm trying to find, I think it was olive oil. And then she showed me something else. And I went ahead to explain and showed her the picture on the phone. I'm like, hey, this is what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't think we have it. Guess what? A few seconds later, I see it. Now it was in a whole different section.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So these are people who work in establishments that do not even understand the business.
Okay.
They're the people who are there to help you, which I didn't see in Kenya because I remember the times we've been there, and then when we went to to the malls to check them out and all, there are things I was looking for, but the moment you walk in, they're like, hey, how are you? With, a great smile and like, well, what do you need? Like this is a place with price tags and everything. So that kind of service, you see there are those differences. And I think we went to the CBD, which is the central.
Yes.
The center, yeah.
Yeah, the central, like the city and all.
Was it the time we went together or you were
I think Kuhani and Nduta were saying how that place is crowded and everything.
Right?
Now, I was scared because I thought it was going to be as chaotic as the downtown of Kampala, where you're pulled, like your hands are pulled. There's sewage running left, right, center. Well, it's kind of changed now, but yeah. So, would I live in Kenya? I mean, I would for some time or for some years. Would I want to stay inUganda? Absolutely.
Yes.
You want to stay in Uganda?
This is home.
You're biased.
No, I'm
home.
saying I would live in Kenya, but not
Permanently.
Well,
Permanently.
I'm taking that, but I don't know. With the way things are going, I don't know.
They say east or west, home is best.
I've always
So
wanted
it's
to relocate
understandable.
to a country like Botswana, but I would have to work on my finances because that's like a whole middle income
Right.
country.
Damn, she said like I'm not paying her enough, like working on
Wait, women get hit middle income status.
Wow. I'm like, no, she said she had to work on her income.
Yeah.
What you said?
But I did see some things. You remember when we went to, I think, Oshe, we needed your interstate something? We were
Interstate
trying to
pass.
figure out something like that. Remember when we went to the internal affairs
Yes.
and then they kept moving us left, right. But even then, they were still helping.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we eventually figured it out. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
some things are the same all over Africa.
Oh, okay, so let me ask you out of Brian, because out of Brian, you are, I would say pound for pound, one of the most talented guys I have ever met. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So especially that skit, I watched it like 7 times. Right, it was the one where where the president's son that said something about they could take over Nairobi in 2 weeks,
Oh.
and then you did that skit.
Yeah.
Man, that is one of my favorite skits I've ever seen. And you're calling somebody like on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna reserve the girls for us. We're gonna entertain ourselves.
Just give us 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We're
So-
taking over Nairobi, so you better pack your things.
Yeah. Kenyans are not serious. But that's what you were saying in the skit. But do you feel like somebody like you who has been here and you've been in the industry?
The longest.
Yeah, you've worked with people. I know you're very like altruistic, like you're very selfless. You would do things for free. Like most people are not like you here I've met. You know what I mean? Like you would just do anything to help people. Do you sometimes feel like if you were in Nigeria, it would be different? If you were in Kenya, it'd be different. If you were in Joburg, it'd be different.
Yeah, I honestly think it would be different. Okay, let me first take you back, because when it comes to Uganda, when it comes to content creation, we're among the first. I think I was the first
You were
content
the
creator.
first. I was even still in high school.
Yes.
Form 3.
I've been
That is
doing
when I used to
content.
watch his
How old are
content.
you, Brian?
Me?
85.
This is a 7
okay.
years old man.
Yeah, please continue, sorry.
Yeah, I'm an old man. Just now, I'm an old man. Because we have been doing content. I started doing content long time. We are first people started doing content here in Uganda. I remember it was me. And then later on, Sisabat checked
This
in.
is about
Sisabat left Photoshop and started doing videos.
simple
So
skits.
the period came, it was only me and Sisabat. Then later on, people started coming slowly. But by that time, it was only like, because me, I was doing the English content.
And Sesa
I don't know
was
Luganda. Sisabat was doing Luganda.
Mm.
Okay. So that was the starter. But within a short time, Sisabat actually blew up very fast, because yes, he had already blown up, but of course, when he switched to content,
Yeah.
got a bigger fan base. And this
Compared
was
to-
partly because also he was shooting in Luganda.
Of course.
Yeah. So there's always that advantage
Of being
when
from
you-
Central.
When you're central.
from Uganda.
When you're
Yes,
a
these
Luganda
central
person.
people, they support themselves.
Yeah.
So he blew Me, I was there on the low, but of course, me, I've been doing it for long. So I just
You've
also
always
kept
been on the
consistent.
high, but nobody gives you the platform.
Yeah, so it's just like that. Once you're doing content in English, it's
We
not
are very
so.
sorry.
But
you are
in
not a
general,
content creator.
yeah. Sorry, I'm sorry. in general, once you do content here and you speak in the local language, Uganda,
You don't even need to be funny or even big or something like that. You definitely just blow out.
Because of favoritism.
Yeah.
Because it's like,
Be honest.
I would like to disagree with you.
isn't she from Uganda also?
No, it's not about the favoritism. It's because you have to accept, look at the country that you're in. There are so many locals, right? But that's just the
full of
honest
local
truth.
chaps. That's normal.
Yeah, the country is full of local people. That's just the honest truth. That's how someone keeps getting his votes, because there's so many local people who keep voting him into power.
Okay.
And there's no problem with being local.
There's no
by the way.
problem.
There's
with
no
being
problem
local,
with being
yeah?
local, but
So
it's not favoritism. It's just that there's so many local people. You have to appeal. Now, do you appeal to the people in the market? I don't think so. But someone in Uganda could appeal to them and entertain them. So I wouldn't like for you guys to use the word favoritism. Maybe just say the demographic
I
that
just
you
said
appeal
like support.
to.
It's just like they're more supportive. I'm not. By the way,
That's the
we're not blaming anyone.
we're not blaming
Because
anybody.
that's
Yeah.
it. They're just supportive.
So
Not
this
bad,
is
it's
why-
good actually.
Yeah, this is why I said if like the central people love their Uganda content creators more than we that use English, we don't need to be against them or something like that.
It is
All
okay,
we
it's
have to
totally
do
fine.
is we have to find where we fall.
Exactly.
So when I say I'm moving to Kenya, where I'm going to get more audience, or where I'm going to be recognized, or even if I'm to go to, I'm not just saying I'm moving to Kenya only or what. If I move to Kenya today, then I find an opportunity of going to Nigeria or going to South Africa, I would definitely do that.
Yeah.
You get, I'm looking for market.
Yeah.
It's
I
about
don't need
finding where you fall.
You have to find where you fall. This is why I've taken my time to see, do I really need to be in Uganda if I want to get to the next step in content creating? I don't know whether O'Shea, you know this, or Outer. If you get your camera today, let's say with your videographer, you go on the streets of Kampala, you're going to have hard time shooting content. You find this as carries or anybody from you're not allowed to shoot from here.
Acacia Mall.
You get
They'll
like
ask you
you're
first,
not allowed.
what are you
But
doing?
What are you doing here? Why are you
true.
holding a camera? Why are you here? It is not allowed. You
But in
get?
Kenya, it's cool.
But in Kenya, it's cool because they know content creating is a job. They are being taxed. Content creators in Nairobi are being taxed 15% of whatever thing they make. You get? So it is a job in Kenya, but in Uganda, it's just for fun.
Right.
It is just entertainment.
Right.
People are using it for fun, like to push their time. But in Kenya, somebody is paying his rent. He's paying his tuition, taking care of family and all that. Most of my content creators, like the friends that I have in Kenya, these guys are making not less than $5,000 a month. How much is that?
Jesus is Lord.
Alma Mudeu, you know her.
Yeah.
She decided to drop out of school. Why? She's making money.
Yeah.
Oh, that probably
She's
wasn't
making money on
wise.
YouTube. Let's not talk about the endorsements that
Yeah.
she's getting from other different brands.
Yeah.
That is just YouTube money.
Yeah. And some of those guys
So-
have Red Bull deals, like $3,000 a month.
I have a friend of mine, Dance General, is working with Red Bull, and you know how much Red Bull would pay you for that. You get flying you out and all that, which is something hard. Unless if somebody like O'Shea says, "My boy, let me take you out," that is when you will leave the country.
But
But a
without
brand to fly you out in Uganda,
Yeah, I also think the thing with brands in Uganda, I don't think they appreciate content creators or influencers.
They don't. Yeah.
Because the amount of money they pay them, I feel like, I may get cancelled. I feel like they just give out gigs to their friends and not actual content creators.
Exactly.
I'm sorry to say this because you see some content creators with a certain gig and you're like, she's just posing with a picture. with
doing
a man.
nothing.
telling you.
And there are people out there doing so many things and they're not getting the deal. So I feel like most brands in this country give out gigs to their
Let me
friends.
tell you,
Their
it's not
friends
even
are
about just giving out the gigs. It's the pay that they give content creators. It's not worth it. I'll go post a video, get over 1 million views, 500,000 views, 100,000. Bro, you can't pay me only $300 for that. That is what O'Shea paid me for one episode. And you're paying me for 31 days.
Preach.
You get?
Yeah.
So you're not seeing any value in me. It's
Please
like you're
don't
doing me
see
a
any
favor.
value.
Yet you need me. You contacted me. I did not contact you.
Yes.
So brands should understand in Uganda that you need content creators to make the sales. You get? So by the time you contact a content creator, add some value to a content creator. Don't think you're doing, giving them, you're favoring them, or you're like helping an orphan.
Yeah.
Maybe I got
It takes a lot of time.
To add on that, there's also another point whereby even us as the content creators, most Ugandans, they don't value themselves.
That is the problem.
You'll find some local chap there on TikTok. He has a big following. He doesn't even know that he's very influential, especially
that
to
he
his
could actually make good money.
Exactly. And for him, he doesn't value himself. Like he will see, I don't know whether it's the economy, but and also this what these brand influencers also. That's how they scam these content creators.
The one that you always cry about.
I just call them scammers because they will approach that kid with a lot of followers and they'll be like, boss, I want you to do this, but we are going to give you
this amount of
money. Let's say 100K UGX. I don't know how that is.
It's like $27,
$27.
And the guy, since of course due to the conditions, you get excited, be like, hey. And so these people set a standard for the rest. Because now after that person accepting that little money, they are going to go now with somebody who has slightly lower following, but values himself. And they will be like,
but he took this.
How can you refuse this money? Yet the other guy with a higher following than you has accepted. You get? So this man has already laid
the first time I worked
we don't value ourselves.
The first time I worked for a Kenyan brand, they paid me $300 for just a 15-second video.
What?
1 million Uganda shillings. For just one video. And of recent, what is his name? Sauti Sol. Yeah, they had a song that was released. I was paid $100 just to do a small challenge, just to use the sound, using a sound that you can just do anything on TikTok. That was only on TikTok.
Yeah.
But here, an artist will be like, please.
I will buy you lunch. Yes, I'll buy you lunch.
100,000 Uganda shillings. Bro, that is nothing.
Yeah.
That is nothing.
Yeah.
So how do you expect me to be in a country where I'm not being valued, even if I try to put value on myself? You don't see the value in me.
I want to give Yaga his flowers. You know, for the longest time, people didn't think you're Ugandan, right? Is that true?
Including me.
Yeah. Even I was like, you can't be Ugandan, you know? And then you dropped a video speaking Luganda. And they were like, oh, he's one of us. But for the longest time, do you know what? I think that's what made you blow up too. You didn't claim this country. People who don't claim this country tend to make it big. I'm sorry to say this.
Really?
Yeah. If you just claim, you
just keep quiet.
Keep quiet.
So
don't tell them which
thing.
country you're from and do your thing. They see your value for what it is. Yeah. Is that not true? That's what you did in the beginning.
Yeah, that's what I did in the beginning. Like,
Man, I didn't know this guy was in you.
Same.
And the crazy part is, we are just neighbors with Outer.
Imagine. I used to see this guy and I'm like, what is this South Sudanese doing here? Why is he speaking Uganda? There was no connection.
There was no connection.
So I was like,
so you guys
only
like,
to find the man is there hiding.
Yeah.
In some,
Nairobi, trust me, Kenyan content creators as an influencers in Kenya, these guys are making money more than people that have jobs. Why? These brands, they know they can't survive without content creators. Do you know what it means for Eric or Mondi to feature you or like just influence for your brand? There's so many other kids that are out there with crazy followers.
Yeah.
That if they just post a video, they have their loyal fans. They have their loyal fans. When you post something, these guys are going out, they are going to go out and buy. And then brands are making crazy money. That is why in Kenya, brands don't talk too much when it comes to, in terms of payment. Like when they're paying the influencers.
Yeah.
They say, name your price. If it is too high, they say, okay, let's reduce a little bit. You get, and then pay you.
Yeah.
But here, I have this.
Can I just
I have this.
Yeah.
And then you're also here hustling. The economy is hard.
exactly.
You are forced to put your value down.
Yeah.
Survivor.
Can I just ask, as content creators, would you also say Ugandan content creators do not bring value? We can talk about and complain about brands, but the content creators also have an issue.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah.
I've heard
to some
that.
extent that also applies.
Yeah.
That goes both ways.
Yeah.
Because now it depends more on the person.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In any video, you can. It's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
The company can want to scam you. Also, they want to
want to scam the
can want to scam the company. They pay a lot of money for you just go and hide somewhere and you just do something small. You say,
don't
then you
deliver
drop
on
it out
time.
there.
For me,
You
I'm
don't
done.
hit that target.
And you know the reason as to why content creators do that?
Uh-huh.
It's because of the pay they give you.
Oh,
You
yeah.
give me less pay, I deliver nonsense.
But if you could do something, do it good.
That is it. Why
If
am
you
I
agree to something, you
No,
should
let's
be
be
able to do
honest,
it
yeah.
Yeah,
good.
deliver
Let's be
nonsense.
honest. I've named my price. I've named my price. You've decided to give me less pay. How do you expect me to put in all my work, my energy, the whole time that I need to create content? I'll just go think of a small idea, drop it out. Like I went to take a shit and I'm out.
What
my God.
according to what the money?
Because I give you what I give you according to the money you've given me.
Yeah.
I give you content according. If you pay me well, I'm going to even add bonus. This is out and nose. You pay me good money, I'll even add 2 extra videos.
Yeah, even with the
So
Pan
that
African
at
dating
least-
show.
You get? You pay me good money, I create the content that you need, and then I add you 2 more more videos, because you never know. I might post this video that you paid me for, doesn't go viral, and then maybe a bonus video goes viral. That is how you're going to gain. I've given you a bonus because why? You've paid me well.
Yeah.
You don't expect me you don't expect to pay me $100, $100 that I can just sit, make in 30 minutes, you get, that I've not struggled for, and you want me to work for it for a whole month. Like, seriously. Let's be honest.
Let me just say this to piggyback off what they're saying. So now I feel like, and this is not to hate on Uganda because I've had a lot of success here, but my argument is the same that they have without the Uganda thing, because I feel like if the Repat podcast had been in Nairobi, number one, there's more like Black Americans in Nairobi that you could do content, or the diaspora. They have a culture of this. Like, even getting people to come on to this platform. This is probably one of the best podcasts in Africa, not just here.
Exactly.
And to try to sell this to somebody that you should participate is difficult. The Pan African Dating Show. How much easier would it have been if that was in Kenya than here? And like when we went there, it was seamless for us.
Yeah.
People show up on time. Here, auditions. We'll leave that alone. But here's what I will say though about Uganda. I know like the thing is this, because Raymond actually flew out the country. Raymond Kahuma. He's in Kenya now.
Yeah.
And a Kenyan brand flew him to Uganda, from Uganda to Kenya. So, and also YouTube, Google, those businesses are very thriving in Kenya. Most multinational corporations will be in Nairobi, and it's part of Africa. But I will say this: Uganda has an opportunity, but it takes a lot more effort. I would see like it is like 2 or 3 times more difficulty in trying to find out how to build the business. There's a lot of negotiating. It's a lot of like here, you can have the money and not get anything accomplished. That's one of the things about Uganda. You can have the money to do something and you can't get it done. Kenya, that's very difficult to achieve that. Because even with like things like computers and camera stores, that's available in Nairobi. Cameras Africa, things like that. Although those things are owned by the Indians, but it's there.
Yeah.
The income for those things is not here. So I would say if you're more of a person that you want to do something from the ground up, and don't get me wrong, this community that we're developing here, it is getting better and it will develop, but it is many years behind what I see happening in Kenya. And another thing too, if you want to go to Arua, which is we want to go to Arua, want to go back there, how hard is it to get to Arua from here? It's difficult. But how hard is it to get to Mombasa from Nairobi? There's a train.
A train 5 hours or only 5 hours.
5 hours. Then if you want to fly, it's like $60.
$60.
But if you want to
That is just 1
fly,
hour.
Uganda Airlines can take you to Dubai before it can take you to Arua in the same country.
There's a company that does that. It's called Bus Aviation.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
started seeing like small flights.
And it's like
going to
$500. Something crazy like that. $300, $400. And you can go to Dubai faster
Yeah.
than going to Arua in the same country.
Imagine.
So, yeah, if you want to go to some place like Arua, it's like an all-day thing. You need to plan, weak in the hands. It's almost like going to another country because of the infrastructure issues that we have here in Uganda. I'm not saying it's not lucrative, but then again, it takes a lot of work, and the government in Nairobi seems to be, at least for this kind of business and maybe some other businesses, more progressive in that particular field.
They're so considerate too.
Yeah, so that's something that you would consider. And if you're looking at, you say like your everyday life, international schools, they have them here. But if my mom wanted to come to Africa and she wanted to move here, Nairobi, I would move her there. Here it would be more difficult for her.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the international community is better in Nairobi than here.
Nairobi than in Uganda.
Yeah.
But let's not praise Nairobi all
No,
the
it's
way.
not about praising.
It's
To be
the
honest,
truth.
me, I love Uganda.
No, but it's honest truth. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah.
true.
I love Uganda. This has been my home. And the truth is, Uganda has brought me up. You get, Uganda has built me. But as somebody that is trying to find opportunities,
Oh, yeah.
you get, when you sit down and see that you're not progressing somewhere and you see an opportunity somewhere where you would grow, it's better to make a move.
But let me ask
Some
you
people will
this.
think you are busy hating, but it's
Yeah.
not hating. I love Uganda and I will not live in Kenya
You are
for
our
good.
son.
You'd not
Okay.
even-
This is
I
our
will-
this is our son.
I will live in Uganda,
But
I will move to Kenya, but still come back to Uganda.
and carry
I'll
South
just
Sudan
be-
on the back. How does it feel to carry South Sudan on your back?
Trust
Because
me, bro,
it
it
comes
feels
to-
good because
this represent-
I don't think there is any content creator from South Sudan that is known beyond the borders of South
Exactly.
Sudan.
That's why.
So he's
You
carrying
get-
South Sudan on
I
his
know
back.
one-
there are
guy.
a lot of content creators in South Sudan,
Well,
but they're
but I
not
wanna-
known beyond the borders like I am.
But I want to know one thing though, right? If all of you guys go to Kenya, like Kumba wants to be there, you want to be there, then obviously other guys are going to come there.
Even I want to be there.
Yeah.
the thing is,
so
the
what's
thing
going to
is-
happen about a market like this? Am I going to be the only person here left?
Yeah.
'Cause I'm not going to go.
No,
I'm
no,
staying
I
here.
told- you know
Even though
what-
I complain about it, I'm going to stay here.
You know what I told O'Shea? I told O'Shea, if you refuse to move to Uganda, to Kenya, and you're busy making losses in Uganda, you're like, your content on everything is not moving well in Uganda, the only thing to do is to just steal your US passport or any document and move to Kenya with it. Let's see if you won't follow me. Simple. And then when you move to Kenya, you're not living.
O'Shea has come to revolutionize the content here in
The
Uganda.
content here.
So he's going to be
Yeah.
He's going to find ways.
Are we doing a good job? I mean, are we doing okay so
Bro,
far?
yeah, to be honest, you are doing well. There is nobody in Uganda, there is no content creator of your style that is even doing it
Yeah.
close to what you are doing.
the biggest
he's amazing.
YouTuber. So you are
But
actually
I
high rank.
want to ask Setati. He's our videographer. He's our sound guy. He can just reply.
Don't-
Setati is
Don't
a
ask him
Kenyan. He has done an internet multi-choice, so he knows the industry really well. So Setati, tell us which country is better for this type of industry. Give us the honest truth. Tell me, I'll tell our audience.
In terms of the content creation industry, I would say Kenya is more competitive. Like for you to be good in Kenya, you have to be really
Good.
doing something excellent, very good.
Yeah.
In Uganda, you really don't have to do
Much.
That's the experience I had. Like, because there are things I would do in Kenya, it would be like a hard thing to do. I mean, a simple thing to do. But when I do it here, most people are like, it's like they've never seen it before. So I'd say maybe it has changed, but my experience coming to Uganda, that's what I saw in the first place, and that's what made me want to stay for long, because I saw an opportunity where there's a lot of things I could do and just stand out without even
Try.
Be extraordinary
much.
from others.
So the thing is, in Kenya, you'll do well, but you really have to be
The
like,
best.
You really have to
just
be.
at what you do to
Yeah.
succeed. And then in terms of monetization, like say there's more to earn in Kenya
In Kenya than in Uganda.
than Uganda. It's just because of how the audience receives your content,
Your
and
content, yeah.
and even the financial bit of it. Like there's more to earn in Kenya than Uganda. That's just the
Yes.
hard truth.
And
Thank you
know
so
what?
much,
We are
Setati.
chasing the
Setati
money.
was actually the best of his class at multi.
Wow.
I'm just putting it out there.
He was.
Yeah, he was. He actually got a whole award and everything.
Wow. I
Yeah.
want to be like
It's such
you
an
when you
easy-
grow
it's
up.
And then he came. No wonder why Uganda developed so rapidly. That's another thing I want to say too. Like, okay, here's the problem I think happens in Uganda. Like, in this personal business of Uganda, we have had the opportunity to get a lot of Rest in peace, Kim the Comic. But we've gotten a lot of talent. So that talent, pound for pound, like, we had, Tati come help us. And then, then we end up getting Brevian, we end up getting Enoch, Rachel, you were here before, those people.
Pioneer.
So we end up getting a lot of talent in one small space, and that's what made everything else go further. So it's not like the talent is not here.
It is.
But there's no, like when you look at Kenya and its content creation, or even Dubai, I was in Dubai. Dubai is doing an excellent job trying to get its content creators to promote the country.
Yeah.
And they're trying to do that. And you see Kenya trying to do that. You see Rwanda trying to do that. But here, it's not there, so it's not really incentivized. So then it's hard, and it's also hard to get into the industry when there's no incentivization to be in the industry. And for a similar industry would be like movies and films, then content creators, which could be similar but not equal. So our success in Kangana Studios is that we've just been having a lot of talent on purpose. Like we've made this sacrifices to put this team together on purpose. But if that was something that I feel like our government here was very interested in doing, then you would have more brands, more reinvestment, more multinational corporations wanting to come in and things like that and making it more and they are coming in. You see like Tangeray is here. It wasn't here 6 years ago. Ciroc is here. It wasn't here like 7 years ago. So the multinationals are starting to come in, and that's making a better opportunity. But there is a disconnect in like, okay, I'm a creator. I want to be in the industry and I need to get paid. And then and then you have some of these people here. I'm not going to say something that's controversial, but they're running these international brands like they running their own businesses. So if you deal with, let's say, Ciroc in Kenya, you may have a different experience than dealing with
Ciroc, Uganda.
Yes. That's the difference also. So the multinational brands with the same thing may not be, and I'm just using Ciroc as an example, it may not be the same experience. You see what I'm saying? So like if I'm working for Jameson in Uganda, but I talk to somebody from Jameson in Kenya, it's almost certain that Jameson Kenya, for an example, I'm not saying that this is a brand, McDonald's Kenya, Uganda, it's not the same. Whereas McDonald's, and I went to Poland, it's the same experience I get in Sacramento. But that's not the case here. Typically when somebody has a brand, even with the same company, Stanbic Kenya, it was different than Stanbic Uganda. It was a better service than Stanbic Kenya than Uganda. I'm like, what? This is how Stanbic acts? It was more organized. Stanbic Uganda was just like, all right, what you want? Okay.
It's like they're doing you a favor on your own.
Ugandans are usually uncoordinated.
You sit there. I'll talk to you very soon. You sit there.
First wait, I have my lunch.
Yes.
Yeah, I will come back.
I will come to you
Can you see it's
one of these
lunchtime?
days. Huh?
But yeah, guys, I feel like this was a beautiful episode. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Something I may need to add also.
Please, Brian, please.
So, besides all that, first point that I want to take note is Ugandans, we need to work together. Content creators, we need to work together. That's the only way we can progress. Everyone is doing it and they're progressing. Kenyans are doing it, not only Kenyans. Nigerians, they work together, they collaborate. If you think you're going to make it all alone, you're going to go, but you stop somewhere. Most of our biggest content creators, they just stop here, like in Uganda, they don't even move. You're big, but you're here, you're stuck here. Kenyans don't even know you. So if we work together, you might find a guy like Yaga, because Yaga now, like this guy is international.
He is.
He's known in South Africa, everywhere. Somalia, Eritrea. So if I told you a local chap, a local content creator, I may say, don't feel yourself. You have to calm down at some point and work. You collaborate. For example, if you're local, if you know you speak in Uganda, you work with someone like Yaga. You're going to tap into his base. You're going to tap into his fan base. And in that,
also tap in his.
And then you also tap onto the local fan base. Yeah? And then you end up what? Progressing. So let's work together. Then another thing I would like to put out. I don't know. Maybe it's the government. The government needs to come in also and support.
What can the government do?
The government is sleeping on job.
What can it do?
They don't support content creators.
My brother,
the price of internet bundles is so high.
You're going wrong on that. You're going wrong on that. First, prove yourself before you call out.
You see, as I'm trying to prove myself, I need internet bundles that are affordable.
Or
Prove
maybe
yourself.
the government needs to regulate telecommunication companies.
Communication companies.
Yeah,
they
because
But it has gotten cheaper, right?
no,
MTN?
It's still expensive.
MTN used to be like 10 gigabytes for 100,000. Now it's like 22.
That is
Oh,
so
no.
high compared
Now it's
to
22
in
gigabytes
Kenya.
at 50,000.
It's actually
To
getting
you.
worse, to be honest.
Yeah, it's so
getting
high.
worse.
So it's getting worse.
Imagine somebody paying 100,000 in Kenya for unlimited internet, home Wi-Fi that is fast
Exactly.
for the whole month, 31
Yeah.
days.
Also-
and then here in Uganda, you will pay 100 or 200K, and then it is off and on.
It's like you're sharing the internet with
You
those
get
people.
with those people, it's like they are tapping into your data. You get.
When you load, it's like you're sharing because the data moves very fast. So that kid there who wants to become a content creator, that muntu wansi who can't afford those internet bundles, so his dream
You
has
make
been
life
let down
hard for him.
just because of that. Meanwhile, in Kenya, whereby everything is affordable, even a youth can join and so they are.
When I was in Kenya, the data bundles were expensive. They used to get done so quickly.
compared to here,
Yeah.
They were not.
I'd be on
They were
Safaricom 1
No.
minute. I just
you
walk
were
around.
maybe you were
and then it
sharing with
goes.
someone.
Somebody was tapping
did
into
you
your
check
data
A?
and you didn't know.
Okay. Yes, Brian. What else?
So yeah, please, that is it. Let's let the government come in and do something and save us.
Yeah, I know Ugandans are so violent like me. I know they are going to come at me for this.
It's okay.
They're always going to come at me.
We are used
but
to
the thing
that.
is, we are used to that. I know how to control that social media. The thing is, when somebody comes out and speaks ill about Uganda, look at it in a positive way. Don't look at it in a negative way that Uganda Yaga is a hater, Outer is a hater or what. Fast travel one day, leave your country, go see some other countries, and then come back. Either appreciate your country or ask your country to do more. You get. If a Ugandan today travels to South Sudan, they're going to have a different experience.
Of course,
They will feel, their country is better.
there is terror.
Yeah,
That's
somewhere. But when you travel today, go to Kenya, you will feel like, what are we doing in Uganda? You get. You travel again today, you go to South Africa, you'll be like, we are still down. We need to do something. We need to pull up our socks. You get.
Or even Rwanda.
You go to Rwanda, small summarized country, but bro, it's good.
You've been there yet?
I've never been there,
Yeah,
but
but it's
according to
nice.
what I've
You're
seen,
there.
bro, I can't compare Uganda to Rwanda. Rwanda is moving too fast. You get. So this is it. Ugandans, if we want the country to develop, let us first start by being. Let us start the example. Do something for yourself where the government is going to look at you and be like, I need to push this person. Like today, if they see how O'Shea is pushing out Uganda through his podcast and
YouTube.
maybe other what you get. If he's doing all this and he's not being appreciated for that, he's not doing it to get appreciated, but he's doing it in the favor of Uganda because he wants Uganda to break the borders of Africa. You get. So if he's doing all this, he's using his own money. Nobody's giving him anything to use to push out Uganda. He's an African American that has moved to Uganda. You get. So if he has decided to do something good for the country like this, it's good if people come out and appreciate his work. The problem is you will come out, create this content, they start hating on you. Yet you're doing something good for the country and then they will hate on you. Why?
Yeah.
Because you're making more than them.
Yeah.
You get, instead of pushing you and like promoting you, because if all Ugandans, or let's say if a big number of Ugandans stream podcasts like this, you get, and even the Pan-African dating show and all that, and they say it's best in Uganda, that is how people are going to be like, yo, Uganda is moving too fast.
Exactly.
They even have podcasts right now. Do you know the biggest podcasts in Africa right now are in South Africa and Nigeria?
Yep.
Plus Kenya.
When it comes to East Africa, this is the only podcast that has broken the borders.
Okay.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Kudos,
Kenya, they don't.
kudos,
So,
I clap for
He's doing big for Uganda. But trust me, Ugandans are not going to appreciate that.
Now imagine the
That is why
government
Kenyans
also
are
came
streaming
in.
you. That is why that is why more Kenyans are streaming you than Ugandans. Because Ugandans are not appreciated. They don't see any point of this.
Wait, do you know why I'm insisting on government? Do you know why I'm also insisting on government?
Why?
Do you know this is the country that has VPN, or we can't even access Facebook?
Yeah,
Can you
by the
imagine?
way,
the
okay, I'm
government
with
has
you.
blocked Facebook. They don't give a damn about content creation.
And they're also
They are
on Facebook.
frustrating. Yes. They have put you can't access
Outer.
What? Are you serious?
without VPN.
tell
They
you.
communicate to people on Facebook, yet Facebook is
Like-
banned in the
Yeah,
country.
Facebook is banned. Why
I
are you
told-
banning?
Like I told you, whenever I step in Kenya, my TikTok is obvious. In Uganda, it gets views. I get views in Uganda. But whenever I cross and go to Kenya or just step out, I step out of Uganda, there is a way it opens the doors of Instagram, Facebook.
It's like you've been in
views
prison.
start coming in, engagement on my page. I posted 2 videos. One is almost hitting 1 million views on Instagram. On Facebook, it has over 3.5 million views, which I've never gotten in my life. I've never even hit 100K.
So you're trying to say
Only
we're in a
one
prison.
video of me and Outer that I posted that hit 90 something K. It's now in 100K. That was the highest video that I ever got on Facebook. Those were the highest views I've ever gotten on Facebook.
Yeah.
But Instagram, I've only been stuck in 30K, 40K. But right now I have a video that is getting to 1 million views. And when I look at it, I'll be like, wow. Thank God to Kenya. Because I want to be a serious
you
content
really-
creator. I want to be out there representing East Africa, not only South Sudan, not only Uganda. I want to be out when they say, yes, we need content creators from all the regions of Africa. I want us to be there and they be like, yeah, we have Yaga from Uganda representing Uganda and South Sudan. We have Outer Brian representing Uganda. You get? Representing East Africa. We have Flacco, you get. So if we start collaborating with the Kenyans, you get. This is it. Ugandans, another thing with our content creators, you find you're making money, but you don't want to invest in yourself. You want somebody else
O'Shea
to
talks
come
about
and-
reinvesting.
You get. So for me, instead of going partying every weekend in Uganda, I would rather save up that money, go to Kenya and collaborate with Kenyans. You get. Go and collaborate with Kenyans. Get my ticket, get an apartment for 1 week or 2 weeks. Go and collaborate with my friends in Kenya.
Wow.
I tap into their audience.
Thank you so much, Yaga. Tell the people where they can find you.
I obviously, Mr. Idiot, or you just search me for Mr. Nyash, you will see my black face. Just look for
Can I
Nyash.
just ask you this?
Yes, please.
Would you say that your content objectifies women?
Nope. That is if you're insecure about your body. It comes to your personal view.
Yeah,
To be honest,
now
it
in
comes,
the video
it
view.
comes to you. Because if I am talking about ladies with big nyash, I'm praising ladies with big nyash. I've not talked heel about ladies that have small nyash. I've not said ladies with small nyash, you have to die or no. I say I love big nyash.
End of story.
You get, that is where I stop.
Okay.
So I'm not like body shaming anybody.
Okay.
So if you feel insecure about your body, that is when you're going to feel offended. Those who are secure about their body, those who love how they look, they never feel bad. They enjoy my content because they are okay being skinny. They are okay nyashless. You get.
Thank
So,
you
but
so
if you come
much.
out and you feel bad, I'm sorry, go and deal with your own.
Let me just say one last thing.
We need to wrap it up.
No, he was talking about, like, let's say, for example, collaborations, and for us to do like some of the shows that I want to do, let's say that we have planned here in the local market. The diaspora is easy to get a hold of, but like most people here, if you want to do something with them, like they're gonna charge you like an arm and a leg. Like that's been our issues. Only like one person that really didn't. That was a big time influencer. Outside of you guys, right? I mean, you guys are, we're cool, but most people are gonna want a lot of money, and it's like, yo, bro, like like you wouldn't ask that same money from somebody else, but oh, your boss is an American and that kind of thing. So it makes like that's something else, and you're gonna lose money on the episode anyway because it's not gonna make the money back. You're just trying to get some awareness for what you do. So, but anyways, all in all, like I said, Africa's the future. Uganda, there's still a lot of work here. It's just a lot of time that you need to do in comparison to Kenya. And it's a lot of investment in training and how to do things and how to create that culture around this business. And any business is like that, any industry. But there's opportunities in both places for sure. Uganda has plenty of opportunity. There's plenty of money to be made in both places. But again, like, you gotta look at all aspects of your quality of life. And I think that, and I'm biased, I love Uganda more. And I'm not gonna leave Uganda for Kenya, but I can see a lot of people. Yeah, I mean, I might spend some
Time in Kenya.
We don't want to.
Yeah, we have Kingana studios in Kenya too.
Yeah, we have a
We
Kenyan
get-
team.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
some people might take me wrong that I want to move to Kenya for good. I love Uganda. I will live in Uganda, but I want to go and get the Kenyan best.
You share,
I
you go
want, you get.
part-time.
I want to be.
He said we share.
You get. I want to be East African. I don't want
East
to be
African.
Ugandan best. I don't want to be
Okay.
Kenyan best.
Wow, thank you so much. Brian, where can the people find you?
Outer Brian everywhere. OUTA Brian, YouTube,
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. You already gave out yours. Do not
Mr.
message
Idiot.
or share. I also want to say this. Right now, Kenya has political instability. So we may be here
How are
praising
you guys
Kenya
doing
and
it?
saying everything, but they have riots right now and it's unsafe.
It's
So
unsafe, yeah.
pick our
You made to go and
That is why I
Everything
and
we
one of
say,
Raila boys
make
kidnapped.
That is
your
why
own
I actually
research.
came back faster.
Yeah.
Because Uganda is more calm compared to Kenya. Kenyans are up. These
They
guys
are
are
serious.
too fast.
Yeah.
These guys are up. But
They want
Ugandans
peace.
are calm. Ugandans are calm.
So we
This
are
is a country,
peaceful.
if you want to have a peace of mind, come to Uganda.
even if we started something, the old man.
You will get peaceful by force.
Whether
You will
whether
become
like it-
peaceful by force.
Yeah. Okay, guys. If you have anything you want to share with us, send us an email at teamkenganda@gmail.com. Follow us on our social media pages at Kenganda Nation. If you're Kenyan out there and you want to adopt a Ugandan, I am ready. I'm willing to move to you
Brother
to move to
Bernard.
Kenya.
No, we are staying in Uganda.
I want to move to Kenya. But yeah, guys, we'll see you next time. Bye.